All right, guys, welcome back to another live episode of Muscle Discord every Monday night. We got our special guest back again, Ron Harris Muscle on YouTube. Make sure to go see him. Check him out there. You got Phil Claar back on the show again, and Nate Spear. You know what, Nate? What's up, guys? Nate was one of my first guests on my podcast.
Wow.
Way back when I started. So good to have you on here, brother. I've been seeing you making some comments and speaking your mind, and that's what I like to have on the show, people that are just going to speak their mind. So Nate is going to speak his mind, and we're going to talk about the Arnold Classic wrap-up. It was a great show. I love the production at the Arnold. The lighting was good. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't like a 4-hour thing we had to go through. It was just quick and easy, and we got the results, and it was done. So I love that about the Arnold. We're going to talk about that because Arnold himself gave a little dig to the Olympia. He ran out and said it. The Olympia is good, but the Arnold is better. Which is like, okay, Arnold. I mean, yeah, you're Mr. Olympia yourself. I mean, okay. So we'll get into that as well. So let's just jump right into it. I'm going to share my screen and go over the results, the predictions that me and Phil and Ron made. Nate didn't get his, but we'll talk about your predictions too, Nate. So let me share my screen. Predictions. And move this over here. There. All right. So this will be quick. We don't take too much time on this, and I want to look at some of the video and stuff of the Phil or Derek and Samson and all the athletes 4K video. So we were all. Did anyone have Derek first? Oh yeah, Coach Abdullah had Derek first.
No.
He called me and made sure I remembered that he got that right. So good on him. He got first, second. Let's see if he actually got it right. So third, yeah. Fourth, no, he got the. William was fifth, right? Fifth, yeah. So he was one off there. I had Derek second, Samson first, Brandon fourth. That was correct. William in fifth, so I got that correct. Andrew in third, I got that correct. And then Sean Clarita was eighth.
Yeah, no, Sean was seventh, James was eighth.
Eighth, yeah.
Okay. Carlos, okay. So we were all kind of, and then Ron, you had first, Samson, Derek second, Brandon was right. Not fifth was Sean, yeah. So went off there. And then Phil, first and second were incorrect, and then Brandon was correct. That was a last minute change by Phil. And then Andrew's correct. So I think out of us three, me, Ron, and Phil, I got the most correct there.
You know who actually did better than all of us? You know Giles Thomas, who I do my podcast with?
Yes, I saw that.
But the weird thing is the only thing he got wrong was he got Justin and Patrick switched, but Patrick should have been last in my eyes.
Yeah, Justin was pretty lean. Yeah, I mean, he was.
Dude, Patrick looked like he freaking ate a pizza and drank a pitcher of beer before he went on.
We're going to talk about Patrick more too. Trust me, we're going to talk about that. What he did after the show. So Nate, what was your prediction? Did you post your prediction somewhere? I thought I saw something.
Yeah,
where you posted something.
Yeah, actually, I posted it on one of those bodybuilding pages, and I actually got 5 out of 5. Honestly, honestly, the reason why is because I think a lot of people just slept on Derek because he was off one time. I've grown up with the kid. I know how genetically talented he is. There's a reason why he has a 212 and a Mr. Olympia title. Like, this dude is really talented when he's on. You know what I mean? So I didn't write him off quickly, and I figured he could correct those mistakes. I know he gets lean very easily. Samson, I know, always leaves that door open just a little bit because he never gets peeled. You know what I mean? So that sort of was my logic there. Obviously, it worked out in my favor, but obviously a little luck there too. But because who knew? I didn't think Derek was going to come out that crazy, like with the side chest and the side improvements, and all the improvements on a lot of his shots and his control, and even his presentation was much more confident. I felt like he posed better than Samson, even like in the comparisons. Like, he held his poses very strongly. His stomach was flat the whole time. You know, so I was pretty impressed with his presentation too.
Yeah. Me too. Derek, really, you just get a sense of how the person is looking as soon as they walk out for the first time at the start of the show. And Derek was like, oh shit, his upper butt, like his chest was full and thick. And I was like, then he flexed his quads and I was like, okay, his quads are bigger. Then he turned around and he had that sharp, crisp conditioning that we're used to seeing when he won the Olympia. So I was like, okay. And then Samson came out, and I was like, okay, he hit his front shot and was like, okay, that's good. But then he started posing, and I'm like, he's not the same sharp Samson that we saw at the Olympia. Phil Claar, what were your thoughts on your first impressions of Derek and Samson?
Well, I was at you right after prejudging.
Yeah, you did. You did predict Derek. Yes, I'll give
Yeah,
Claar
I mean,
that.
I did say, it's Derek's show, to lose. I honestly was shocked, probably like a lot of people. I knew Derek was going to come in good, but
Yeah,
when I saw him step on that stage, I was like, holy crap. And then when I saw Samson step out, I said, he's not the same as the Olympia. So what I'm watching them in their posing, I already knew Derek had it. I knew that some people believe Samson. He did come back a little bit better, but Derek he was just lights out. There was no way he wasn't going to win.
yeah. And, now a lot of people have. Go ahead.
Like,
Go ahead.
did you find your eyes going to Derek? Is what I found. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like I keep going back to Derek because the polish, the skin color, like everything was just popping. You know what I mean? So my eyes just kept going to Derek. In my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I want to get to the top two here, show you guys so we can talk about it while we go through this. Rep. Top two. There we go. So why do you think Derek beat him?
Condition.
Straight condition.
Samson's got a better physique. If Samson had been 296 instead of 306, he would have walked away with the show.
Yeah. Brandon Curry. Thoughts on Brandon Curry? I think we all got him right in our prediction for fourth.
Yep.
So, he looked really, really good. There is a discrepancy between the biceps. What do you guys think happened with that bicep? Is that one bicep that's smaller than the other? Is it a tear? It was at the Olympia as well. He had the bicep discrepancy.
Yeah.
It's the left bicep.
I'd have to
Try
see
and
it
find
from
it.
front
Yeah,
double to
just-
see.
yeah,
Is it shorter?
It's shorter.
Yeah, it's a little smaller. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't notice it till you just told me.
Definitely notice his front lat spread is coming. I mean, his front double bicep is coming in. You know what I mean? He used to be way wider in that front double. I definitely noticed that narrowed it up a little bit, but I think that's just he's getting older, obviously, but that's still a really great look. I mean, for him.
Fourth, yeah. I mean, you can't complain about that.
The top three. I mean, obviously, Andrew, Derek, and Samson are like another level, so that's like top.
Can you make the case like Aceto made that Andrew could have placed ahead of Samson?
He definitely wanted some shots, I think. Like, honestly, I give him the front double and the front lat at night at the finals over Samson. Like, he was very dry, had that front lat, like the striations in the chest, the ab detail. Like, he was pretty wacky at night, I thought, like in some shots. And then some shots, he just couldn't pose right,
Yeah.
I think what I think happened is Andrew looked really good. Yes, he had good conditioning, but he didn't have his package is incomplete. I don't think Derek just won with conditioning. I think Derek just had a much complete better package overall.
Yeah.
When you see Samson stand next to Andrew, Samson, just his size and his shape was going to overtake. I thought Curry could have snuck in and took Andrew out. That's what I thought.
Some people were saying, I heard that talk as well out there that could be the case.
I think they flipped up though. I like Brandon's look at prejudging better, and then I like Andrew's better at finals.
At finals, yeah.
So I could see that prejudging definitely. Brandon might have taken it, but
yeah. These people in the comments.
You know what gets me? The shoulders are getting me. Like they're pointing. I don't. His shoulders I kept zooming in on his shoulders. It just didn't look.
Yeah, let's go.
Normal to me.
The triceps and the side tricep were what caught my attention that way.
I saw some people talking about the tricep.
Yeah. He needs more. Everyone talks about the hams, but he needs a little more quads too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's so wide up top. He's so wide.
Yeah.
At prejudging, his quads were definitely down noticeably for sure.
Yeah.
Coach Abdullah called me today, and he spoke about Andrew jacked, and he said that he's done. He's too old. He's getting too old, and he's missed the mark too many times. Oof. And he's just he can't. There's no way up from here for Andrew. He's not gonna get the legs bigger. If you don't get him big now, you're not gonna get him bigger. He's known that he's had to work on the quads and the hamstrings, especially the hamstrings, and it's the same look year after year. For the most part, maybe he's a bit better conditioning now, but he's the same size for the most part. So what else can he do? And you're up against Samson, who keeps beating him, who beat him by quite a bit at this show. If you look at the scorecards, it wasn't close between Samson and Andrew. So I honestly think if Andrew can't do something to his quads, because they were lacking a little bit, then he doesn't really have anywhere to go, unfortunately. And it's like a waste of these genetics.
Yeah, I'm not going to count him out until the Olympia. If it's not picked by the Olympia, then chances are it's just not. The level of competition is just so tough now. With Martin, you got Nick coming back. So legs, for his size, the legs have to be there. So I'm not going to count him out yet. But if it's not fixed at this year, Mr. Olympia, then I'll say, I'm not going to say it's over, but his placements is not going to be that great.
Agreed. Ron, what's your assessment on Andrew and his future?
Someone just said the 24 Texas look would have beat Samson and Derek. No. Whatever you're smoking, I want some of that. That's good stuff you're smoking. He needs to get those legs up. To say that he can't possibly because he's too old. He's only been training like a bodybuilder for like 4 years. He was like a CrossFit guy who had big arms and big shoulders. He's 3 years ago today. He was just turning pro at the Arnold Amateur. So, I'm sure Psycho Lewis, Chris is a great trainer, but I personally think if Andrew could go out and stay in Vegas for 3 months with Milos to train with Milos has done some amazing things with overall size, like we did with Samson. He's helped people bring up body parts that had not been growing for a very long time. Yeah, I wouldn't write Andrew off that quickly.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he needs to do something drastic. I'm not saying anything bad about Chris Psycho Lewis, but something with the training. He needs to team up with a very well experienced trainer in the gym. I'm not talking about the diet. The conditioning is okay on Andrew. Can it be a little better? Yes. But it's the muscle. He needs to get those legs bigger. He needs to see improvements overall in size and thickness from the side poses, the side quad. So I think he needs to really, really do something drastic at an elite level in order to keep up with these guys, or he's just going to be that fourth, fifth guy in the Olympia because he's just genetic freak. So he's always going to be in the top 5 at the Olympia, depending, and Martin Fitzwater, if Nick Walker gets in there. We talk about Nick Walker too. It could be hard for Andrew. So
one question anyone can answer this, but his glutes were not dialed in anywhere the level of Derek's. We're not going to talk about men's asses all night, but why would you pull your trunks up to the ass crack to show the full glutes if they weren't completely peeled and dry?
Right.
You're just calling attention to the fact that this guy next to me, Derek, has better glute striations.
That's not a good look. He has the genetics. He has the muscle structure for Ronnie Coleman, like glutes back there. Yeah. But he's not suffering like Ronnie Coleman suffered to get in that type of shape. There should be no reason why he can't have that. I want to talk about Arnold's. Did you guys listen to Arnold's speech about him talking about how the Arnold is better than the Olympia? And my question to you is, do you agree with Arnold that the Arnold is a better show than the Mr. Olympia?
I think what he was trying to say was it's ran better. I don't think it'll ever be better than the Mr. Olympia, but I think it's real organized, it's ran better, everything is, firing, and people don't have to stay up till all hours. And I'm assuming that's what he was saying because it's not better than the Olympia.
No, I mean, it's the Olympia is a Super Bowl. I'll ask this question, you guys. From a production standpoint, is the Arnold better than the Olympia? No.
What? I say it's way better. I thought the production was amazing compared to Olympia, and the live stream was great. The lighting is always good at the Arnold. The lighting is always shit at the Olympia.
I'm talking about the whole setup with the crazy, the lighting in the state. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But the production, they put a lot of money in Olympia for that older production.
Flashing fireworks going on in the background. It's like Girl, I don't know.
It is crazy.
Yeah. I don't think
Bro.
that yet, personally. But
In the Olympia's defense, though, the Olympia,
it's
they
still
don't have a choice of we're going to get rid of women's bodybuilding, women's physique, women's figure, 212. That's part of why this show runs faster and more efficiently. It's invite only. It's limited to, they limit each division to like 15, I think. God, they're going to have like 90 classic guys at the Olympia this year, 90 bikini. There's a ton of shows. They have like 300 to 350 athletes to deal with, to get judged, to posing routines. It's the logistics. The Olympia is I think it's probably a tougher show to put on for that simple reason.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. So I agree. It's a longer run show to watch, and it gets a little exhausting. But from a production standpoint, the Arnold is better. Okay, first off, they're offering a free live stream with like the commentary set up and everything like that. We're going to talk about the commentary in a second. And the lighting, obviously, this is a Super Bowl of bodybuilding. You shouldn't watch the live stream that we all pay for. Okay, it's not free. And it's just atrocious, dark, terrible. The whole show is to look at these people so we can see their muscle and the conditioning, and you can't see it because this lighting is shit. Look at if the Arnold can light it like this, why can't the Olympia? Why year after year is it the same disappointment in lighting? I'm not talking about the show itself. The show is awesome, but the lighting to watch these guys to put on this whole hard work. We're doing all these predictions. We're doing all these lead ups to the show, and then we get to watch it, and it's like, fuck, what is this?
I have to defend the Olympia just one more time, and I'm not sucking up to Dan or Jake, but we're looking at the Gilco Productions footage here of Derek. This is much brighter and much crisper than what you saw on the live stream, because the Gilco guys, they have, I don't know, 40K cameras. They got the best cameras in the world. But the lighting is fantastic.
Every other picture I've seen looked great though. So
no, like the live stream was bright. It was like it's never going to be 4K on the live stream, but it was bright. You could see it clear. It was nice production.
Great that I've seen of like the crowd, like the audience, like they all look great.
It was.
I don't think so.
The Olympia live stream. I'm talking about just the live stream comparison. It was terrible. I mean, they must have fucked that up, and they're going to have to, especially with Arnold making digs now at them. He's like, oh, we're better than Olympia. Don Solomon's going to be definitely saw that, and he's got to be like, okay, I got to step. I hope they step it up. Yeah. I hope they step it up with the live, especially because they're charging people for the live streams. Step up the live stream. I hope. I'm just mean this in the best sense, because everyone that was watching was like, this is terrible.
And honestly, it's annoying as an athlete because you don't get to show your best work, and it's all on social media now. So if you don't look good in pictures, then you're screwed. You know what I mean? Everyone's talking crap about you. So it sort of is a big deal these days,
Exactly. And speaking of the live show and the commentary, I made a little dig at Phil Heath because I couldn't let it slip. And when I was doing the live stream and the people in the chat were saying, what's wrong with Phil? Like, why is he not saying anything about Andrew Jack? He's not saying anything really positive about Derek Lunsford. He's just talking all fanboy Samson fan through his commentary. Did anyone notice this, or was it just me?
No, I noticed.
I wasn't paying attention.
I mean, I definitely noticed he was favoring Samson a lot, especially pre-judging. And then he finally sort of started to switch over to Derek because I think he realized that after looking at pictures and stuff, like, oh shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, my pre-judging was in German because I clicked the wrong button.
Oh.
Some of these German guys talk. So the finals, I got it in English.
They're the ones that paid for it. The German company, ESN's German company, right?
Yeah, they got a lot.
That's what I told Patty. I told Patty that that's why I figured it was free.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Brandon Curry doing the Masters Olympia. He is doing it. I think it's been confirmed, if I'm not mistaken. And now Kai Greene.
Come on now.
I don't think Kai Greene is doing it. I think he's talking a bunch of crap.
Kai never says, yes, I'm doing it. He never, ever says that, ever.
No.
He's just maybe I never retired. Okay, you're not answering the question. If he was in court, the judge would be like, answer the question.
Did you guys watch him on Jay's podcast, the Cutler Cast? It's like I could tell Jay.
I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it.
Like, he couldn't get a word out of Kai, and he was like, "Bro, like, are you gonna tell me anything?" Like, you know what I mean?
Stop with Kai talk. Oh, we gotta stop.
I know. I think obviously it's a publicity stunt by Kai, especially throwing in the caveat that he's going to talk to them and you see what kind of contracts they can put together for him,
What
so he can come
contract?
compete.
They're not going to
What
pay him
contract?
to compete. They're not going to pay him to compete.
Pay me
It's 20 grand.
$100,000
That's
to
it.
compete. Give me a free boot. You know, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that.
Sorry, Kai, you're not Sam Sulek.
No,
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly. I mean, so that right there tells me that that's just his out. Be like, well, the promoters didn't want to work with me, so I'm not doing the Masters. That's his way out. He sets himself up for that. So of course, there's no contract. He's not going to get any payment to go compete at the Masters when the prize money is what, 20,000 for first place. So no, you're not going to get paid, Kai. You haven't competed in 10 years. I mean, I don't think it would be a big draw if he even went to do it for the most part. It would just be as status quo. So, and Kai is what, 49. So he's 49. At least he's above that kind of where we're thinking the cutoff should be 45.
Yeah.
Brandon Curry is what, 42? How do you guys feel about Brandon Curry at 42 doing a Masters show? And he's an open bodybuilder. You know, this whole crossover thing, should there be some limits or restrictions on crossover? From if you're going to do Masters, you stay in the Masters. If you're going to do, vice versa, you don't go back and forth.
I told you, I just believe this. I think this is going to be his last year. I think he's done after this year, after this Olympia. So he has one Mr. Olympia, 2 Arnolds, and his mind is, oh, well, I'll get a Master Olympia, you know what I mean, before I step away. I think he's stepping away this year, and he chooses to do it. It's easy money. He already said it's an easy paycheck. He said it already. So he knows, and it's just common sense. He's going to be the front runner regardless.
I mean, I personally think it's good for the Masters Olympia because it's got to promote it more. It's going to get more people buying tickets, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So, and it's probably going to be nicer for the Master competitors to go against like some guys like that, you know? So, I mean, they probably want to do it, you know? So I think it's good.
Yeah, the more big names, the better. That's absolutely. Yeah. There's no downside.
Agreed. I agree. Like, what is Brandon going to do now? I mean, obviously he's always qualified to do the Olympia. But he placed 9th last year, and he's getting 4th at the Arnold, which is great. But is he just competing to have fun? Like, he's already accomplished everything, kind of thing. So it's like
he's competing for the paycheck. I know why he's doing it. The Olympia, chances are he's not going to get a paycheck from the Olympia. It's just the competition is too fierce. My problem is he is still an elite, which he has proven that he's an elite competitor still at his age. There's a lot of guys, and I mean, I'm not including myself, but there's a lot of masters that's busting their butt because they meet that age requirement. This is just my opinion. When you're still an elite pro, I think it's nonsense to step in the masters when him himself know it's a clear win. I just think it's taken away from someone. I don't want to use this word the wrong way, but someone deserving that's been busting their ass. Me myself, like I said, with the money that it costs to go there, I believe somebody else is going to jump in. I don't think it's just going to be Claar. I think we're going to get surprised with some other people because all they got to do is request. They don't even have to compete. They could just request to be in the Masters if you have a good name and you're a lead pro. So,
Bonnet
for him.
should do it too.
Yeah. I was gonna say, does that create more of like better guys starting to do it, like Bonac and Andrew Jack? Those guys are like 40s now. Do they start following suit, or does it not become like that?
I don't know if Andrew Jack would do it because of his character. I don't think he would. With him, it's elite or nothing. You know what I mean? He wants to be the best of the best, so I can't see Bonac possibly. But speaking of Bonac, I don't know if Bonac would for 20 grand. If it was more money, oh shit, Bonac won't be jumping in there. But 20 grand, come on, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
For me, somebody like me, yes, it's worth it. But for these guys, I mean, it's not even worth competing for 20 grand.
Right.
Well, yeah, and they get flown down there, the sponsors, and they get everything covered, and they're not. There's no real out of pocket.
Yeah, he won't pay a dime.
No. So he'll go there. He'll get a $20,000 check. He'll get that Masters. If he I'm not. Who knows? Maybe he might not show up. He might get sick. Who knows what's going to happen? But if he does, most likely Brandon's going to win. I mean, he's the top he's a Mr. Olympia going into the Masters Olympia, so you would think he potentially would win. He's going to collect that check. And then you have guys like Sean Clarita. He's 42. He could jump in there and do it. It's in the, like you have a little mini Olympia lineup on the Masters Olympia stage, which
Yeah, the
it's
thing with
called it.
Karita though, it's right. It's right before the Olympia. I don't think Karita. He wants to try to make an attempt to get his title back, so I can't see him jumping into this and risking
No.
not doing well in the Olympia. So I don't think we're going to see anybody that's competing in the Olympia. Now, I did see pictures of Victor Martinez looking pretty jacked.
Ah, yeah. There you go.
So
I
that
didn't
could
see
be a
that.
possibility, you know. So who knows?
How old is Akeem? Is he?
He's
He's
definitely
got to be 40. He's got to be 40 by now.
39 or 40, definitely something like that.
So he can't. It's not. Yeah, he can't. You got to be 40.
See if I can find out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we stop off the Arnold comments, you didn't mention the dig he made at the men's physique guys. With the
Oh,
division,
Yes.
yeah, I heard that.
the men's physique division in total. He said, "I don't get this." I'm paraphrasing. I don't get the goofy shorts. You know, why don't you show your legs? He basically
Yeah.
said this division's bullshit.
He even hit that one guy that had no calves. The tall guy. He said, "Look at this guy, no calves."
Ah, jeez.
But
Brutal.
Arnold's been doing that for a long time with the guy with the men's. It's not the first time he's made comments like that. I don't.
Yeah.
Like,
40.
well,
He's 40.
he's 40.
Akeem. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Akeem could jump into this if he's starting to feel like he's near the finish line and he's he can't really get any further. I don't think he would. I think he's still got a chance to kind of do pretty good in some of these shows. So these open shows. Yeah, the men's physique dig. Then why have them at your show, Arnold?
Yeah. Good question.
Like, how disrespectful can you be to these athletes that work their ass off? What they still work hard. They look like classic physique guys for the most part, and they get there and then you say that. Is Arnold just at the age where he's just kind of like,
Doesn't give a fuck.
I don't fucking care anymore?
It's
Where-
77, 78. He doesn't care.
Yeah, like he's made some crazy comments in the past, but yeah, I don't know. If you don't like them and you're gonna mock their calves and stuff like that, don't have them at the show. You don't have the 212 at the show. You don't have other classes. Just eliminate that class. And
That being said, the shorts are so tight now. Why don't they just go with the original classic physique shorts from 2016 for the men's physique guys? They were like high bike shorts.
or they're higher than this. I can't remember.
No, I'm talking about for them. So men's physique, yeah. Why don't they just put them in why don't they change the shorts instead of board shorts to those longer? They were basically big posing trunks. Like in the very beginning of classic, the very first year or two, the trunks were a lot bigger. They covered more.
Oh, okay.
Then you'd see the legs. So problem solved.
Men's physique, I don't like. I don't know, man. It's just I never cover it. I never talk about it. But I mean, it is what it is. They do come in great shape and conditioning. It's crazy. This guy.
Well,
It's
these pair of
ridiculous.
shorts isn't too bad. The ones that's up a little higher, where you can see the teardrop at the end of their front quads.
Yeah.
That's nice. And I think they may raise it in the future a little bit higher, but I don't think they're going to raise it too much higher. Maybe a little bit more to see more of the lower part development of the thighs. But they do look good when you see that they have thigh development. It does make
Yeah.
them look really good.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they have to differentiate it from classic physique. They don't want to have the shorts too high
Right.
up and start showing the quads, because then they start emphasizing quad development and judging that, because I don't think they judge any quad or any calf.
Well, I think they do now.
Yeah,
Okay.
they said you have to have a little. Yeah, I think that was last year or early. Yeah, last year, end of last year. Yeah, you have to have some type of little bit of quad development. They do want to see that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's I think it was the same time they came out with a weight cap for these guys. Finally,
Yeah. Tyler made
Weight cap.
or whatever.
they
Yeah.
were just getting too diesel.
They say they judge the quads, but I'm sure it's very lightly though. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, don't have like tiny sticks. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
don't make it very like noticeable. Okay.
Yeah.
Have something there.
But a lot of them do have just zero calf development.
Yeah.
This guy was really good. Really.
Yeah, man. His
winner,
abs
right?
just.
His intercostals.
He's
are
the
like,
winner.
like that
Yeah.
crazy Middle Eastern.
He looks great.
And he's another guy. So he left George Barra
Yeah.
8 days out and went over to Chris Aceto.
It's crazy.
And-
8 days out. That's
Like,
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a little bit of a dig to George because he didn't say thank you to George. He's like, thank you, Chris Aceto. So
Yeah,
it's
you know,
a little-
because even you leave a coach at 8 days out, even if you win another coach, technically
right.
it goes to the coach that
Yeah.
you left. You know what I'm saying? You could at least, I don't know, man. I'm different. You could say something,
yeah.
you know.
It works
But
pretty much.
probably was a hefty depart, probably something personal. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, something went on there, and that's as we're talking about that. I'm going to bring you guys over here to Mr. Patrick Moore. Have you guys seen this post by Patrick?
Oh yeah.
I don't agree with it, but Patty saw she read it to me. I don't agree with that nonsense.
What's your thoughts, Nate, on this? Blaming the coach.
I think honestly what happened is in his time when he was good, bodybuilding wasn't as good. He was placing better. Now the time is much better. These guys have gotten drastically better over the last 5 years. When the last time we got top 10 at the Arnold or Olympia in like 2019 or something, looked great. He's still chasing that. He hasn't matched that. I think his time, he's getting a little older. I think he's like in his 40s too. He's not getting any bigger. He's not really improving anywhere. He's not conditioning is still on and off. He keeps coach hopping. And then like he looked pretty good with Dom Cardone, I thought, at the Europa. There's just better guys there. And it's the same thing sort of. So now you're with Aceto. It's like, I don't know. It's like it's like, you know, the boy who cried wolf a little bit, because it's like, okay, you've been with all these coaches and you have had numerous opportunities to sort of like prove yourself and you haven't followed through. So, you know.
You know, it's crazy. He was with Chris Aceto before in the past.
Yeah, and
he left Chris and he went back. And then we look at all Chris athletes that competed. You can't blame Chris. Come the hell on. You know what I'm saying? And to blame it on diuretics, here's the thing that when a coach decides, allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly because I don't know, decides to implement diuretics a week before the show, it's because you're not in shape. But diuretics is not going to take fat off. It's not going to make you get in shape regardless. So you can't blame the coach. He could have easily said, no, I don't want to go this direction. But I just think that I think his time is, I hate to say it, I think his time is up. He has 6 years to put size on his legs. He has not done it. So,
also, too, the picture that he posted on the left is no better. So sorry. Like you post the back double if you're going to say, oh, I was off. Show me the striated glutes. Show me the striated hamstrings. You probably weren't there. That's why there's no back double. You know what I mean? We know this game.
I mean, the fact that he was resorting to almost a full week of diuretics tells you the last ditch effort to get the conditioning going.
I've never
seen that work in anyone's favor.
No.
Sunday to Saturday, what? Or Sunday to Friday, like that's. So he must have. I mean, you maybe aldactone. You run for days and days like that, but like Diazide, you take out a Thursday afternoon and then a quarter later and another quarter. Everyone knows how to do Diazide. It's not that far out, so I don't know what. First, I don't know why Aceto would tell him to do that, but maybe it was a drastic. I don't know. That's a weird. As soon as I saw that, like that's a weird protocol.
Was Aceto his coach for the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see Aceto recommend. I'm not sure I buy that actually even happened under Aceto. He might have done it on his own. I can't see Aceto doing that.
He's like, I've always been a trust the plan guy, and should have stuck with my first mind and the advice of someone I have the most trust in, starting with diuretics on Sunday for a Friday show. It's not a good move, and I knew that. Well, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, like, not to bring it up, but I mean, if you're getting in fights at 4 weeks out and you're getting ready for the Arnold Classic, how head is your head in the game? You know what I mean? Like, you're getting an Arnold Classic invite, like you're blessed, bro. Like, you really deserve that Arnold Classic invite. Just saying, if Martin didn't get one, Patrick Moore, why would he get one? You know what I mean?
don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to get another one.
No. He is.
Like, don't take that for granted. You know what I mean? Like, don't get in fights, bro. Like, you're a grown man. Like,
well, like you said, when he was in Dom, I thought when he was with Dom, he looked really good.
yeah.
And then because he didn't do well, you just find purpose because you don't do well. The coach has nothing to do with the judging.
Right. Sometimes it's a lineup. Go right in front of if you're in a different judge, like it does change a lot in the pros. You know what I mean? Like from show to show. So in your lineup, who you're up against, like he's obviously a smaller guy. He does probably better in a more aesthetic lineup, smaller lineup. You know, he probably could, like when the Cal Pros that he's won, those are smaller guys. He was at Europa. He was going up against freaking Andre Presti, who's like 275. You know, tall, broad, like dense guys. You know.
Yeah. And Phil alluded to this a little bit too, about his kind of his attitude, his demeanor. You can kind of see it in his post. It kind of shows his true colors right there.
Yeah, he's very arrogant.
Never make a coach personally. Never.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Haven't heard the best of things, but hey, we'll see what Patrick does now. Which coach he'll jump to next.
Well, hope not in New York.
No, I don't know what he's gonna do. He hasn't got the legs bigger. Conditioning's been off. For a guy with his physique and his metabolism, it looks like he would be shredded all the time. But it's weird. This is the weird chemistry makeup in his physique where he can't get those glutes shredded. He did it at the Olympia that one year. He did it at the Olympia.
Right. That's the thing that's weird for me as an athlete is like once you get shredded, I feel like you should be able to do that again. So I don't really understand why he's not doing it, I guess, because he's done it before. So
yeah. Maybe he's just not focused. Maybe his head is all over the map and he's just there's other things going on. But Sam Sulek, let's jump into that. Got his pro card at the Arnold Amateur. So what that allows you to do is they can give you a special invite to the Arnold Classic Open Pro division next year.
They're loving that.
So I know. I just feel like this was all. I don't know. I'm just a conspiracy theorist, but it was just like pick the right show at the Vegas show. There's like 2 guys in his class, easy. You know, most likely you can beat those guys. Goes to the Arnold Amateur, wins his class and then in the overall, there's a lot of guys who are saying he shouldn't have won the overall. The other guy, the bald head guy, should have won the overall, but they gave it to Sam. And now they can, if he does say I'm going to do the Arnold next year, Open, huge hype train going into there's the bald guy standing next to going into the Arnold Classic 2026. So to me, it kind of seems all planned. It seems too perfect. Just perfectly, everything went smooth. But at the end of the day, Sam did look good. He won his class. He won the overall, kind of controversially won the overall. I don't know. Do you guys believe he should have won the overall? Did you watch any of the comparisons or anything like that?
I thought it could have been a toss-up, but I don't think it was like anything I was like losing sleep over. You know?
No, not really.
Nobody was that great. It was a weak show. Nobody looked.
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody who was like, oh wow, that guy's going to be a great pro. Not at all.
Yeah. No, I didn't either. But at the end of the day, if he gets a little bigger, he's got 10 pounds to work with now that he's a pro.
Right.
Crazy for me. It's just guys that years and years and years they compete at nationals. They get second, they get third, they get fourth. They can't, and they have great physiques. And then Sam comes along and it's just like, boom, boom, pro card.
Yeah.
Dave Palumbo. I know Dave Palumbo didn't have an aesthetically pleasing physique, but Dave couldn't turn pro, and this guy's a pro. Really?
Yeah. I don't know if he's gonna. I don't even know if he's really gonna do a pro show because classic physique in a pro category, that's a whole different ball game. So I don't know.
Yeah. Would he have turned pro in it? Because if there was no classic physique around, he would just have to be in normal bodybuilding. Would he have turned pro? And what would he be? A light heavy? No, he'd be
like 216, 217. He would have been heavyweight.
He would have heavy, so he wouldn't have turned to pro as a heavy with that structure. Not enough thickness.
There's no thickness for all heavyweights turning pro. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's we're being called haters, and you're going to get all kinds of comments. Trust me.
Yeah.
You're going to. The Sam fans are going to tear you like 5 new assholes. Structurally, he does not have a classic. Yeah, being able to pull a vacuum doesn't mean you have a great physique for a classic. That's just one little thing. Structurally, he's just not on the level of. We're talking about like, Mike Sommerfeld, Ramondino, Terrence Ruffin, Urs Kalachinsky. These guys, the top, even the guys who are in like the 3rd and 4th call out at the Olympia are way better than that. I understand they're gonna say, well, wait until he puts his 8 or 9 pounds on that they give him. Dude, it's just going to be a little bigger version of this. That's all it's going to be. And he's God bless the kid for being as successful and popular as he is, but I'm not going to say he's got this awesome physique when he doesn't. It's awesome compared when you're a 16-year-old, 18-year-old fan looking at him on Instagram, you're like, wow. But to those of us who've been to a ton of pro shows, we know the standard, we know how good those guys really are. I'm just not impressed, and I don't see him having any. Maybe he'll never do a pro show, but he's not going to have a good pro career. He just doesn't have the right structure and shape for it.
Yeah, to be honest, man, he don't even need the amount of money he's already making. I don't think, I could be wrong, but I truly don't think. I think this is what he wanted to get. I don't think he's going to do a pro show. I don't, especially to Arnold. I don't know. But if they pay him to do it, it'll be another deal.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think this is pretty much be done with this, and there's no need for him to really compete. It's sad. It's sad. We're not knocking on. Again, Sam has a physique that did enough to win the shows that he entered with the competition he was against. So luck of the draw. He didn't do anything wrong. It just, that's how the dice rolled. And he's here and he's drawing more eyes to the sport. He has a good physique. He gets in good shape. He's in condition. So, kudos to him. He's self-coached. He did all this himself for the most part. So,
for haters, look up that kid Anton that was 19 years old that turned at nationals, and then compare him to this kid who's like, you know what I mean? There are young phenoms out there that people aren't aware of other than Sam. You know what I mean? Like that Antoine, and then the kid that played 6 at the Olympia is like 23 years old from Spain. That dude's nasty.
Hosema,
Nasty.
Derek Lunsford turned pro at 23.
Yeah.
And he won the Tampa Pro a week later, a pro debut at 212, and he got 5th place at the Olympia a few weeks after that. So, it's not 23. It's great that he did it at such a young age, but they're overlooking because they don't know the history of the sport. Most of Sam's fans, they're not bodybuilding fans. They're not fans of the competitive side of the industry. They're just Sam Sulek fans.
Yeah.
So as far as they're concerned, he's like Jesus Christ. He's the greatest to ever walk the earth. He's the greatest bodybuilder of all time. And you know what? Whatever. If that's got him a great career, and God bless the kid. He's doing great.
Yeah. Agreed. We're not hating on Sam. We're not Sam haters. We're just talking about what we think here. So he's a good guy. We have nothing against Sam. Nick Walker, guest posting here. What are your initial thoughts here of the structure?
I didn't know he guest posed.
This was at the booth, I'm guessing, at the Arnold somewhere.
Took his shirt off at the booth.
I mean, he's massive. He definitely put on, looks like more size, but I don't know if that's a good thing or it's really depends on the final package because like his waist will come in more. Like obviously, it's still not going to be the most pleasing, but it really depends on what package he shows on the show at that day. Meaning like his structure, his waist, how everything flows. Because if he's off a little bit, then it throws everything off. You know what I mean? So he has to be careful as far as that goes with the waistline and peaking properly.
Well, this is 10 weeks out, right? From the Pittsburgh. Yeah. So there's obviously something going on with the midsection. Yes, he's eating, he's at the expo, he's got water and everything in his stomach. But I don't know, man. Like, there is some validity to Bob Cigarillo saying, he's got the H taper. And when you're up against guys like Samson, like Derek with the tight waist, like Martin, that's going to be in the Hadi. You guys like Brandon Curry, if he was up against him, like Andrew. So it's just hard to would the judges reward this?
No, not the way I see them judging now. No. He's got to bring it, and his test is going to be at the Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And if he does not, if Martin beats him at the Pittsburgh, it's going to be a whole lot of shakeup.
Agreed. Nate, what's your thoughts on this?
I haven't given Nick up. I haven't given up on Nick yet. He's my boy, so I definitely. No,
I'm gonna just go to his profile.
He's still the chance to beat Martin. I'll tell you that. So I'm not like giving up on him yet. I think Martin's a bodybuilder. I think what happened last year was a lot of people gave him a little bit more flack than they should have. Like I thought the New York Pro was actually not a bad look, but the problem was Martin wasn't good as he was at the time. So people thought, oh my God, Martin was so close. But little did they know Martin was about to be the 4th best bodybuilder in the world. You know what I'm saying? So like their mind at that problem, they're not thinking clearly, in my opinion, because I thought still Nick brought a great look. And if he still beat Martin, who just placed 4th at Olympia, that's pretty damn good to me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I had Nick winning the New York Pro over Martin by slightly.
it was close for sure.
Yeah. So I'm not a Nick hater or anything like that. But I just hope that he can rein in that waistline.
Yeah. He's got to be careful with that for sure. That's got to be continuous work daily, keeping the waist tight, flat. Like I've dealt with waist issues. It's hard, you know, if you get to a certain point, it's very hard to control. You know what I mean? If you're not keeping up on it daily, literally, like some of these guys, if they have it like genetically, you know what I mean? Sort of. So
yeah,
he's got to stay on it for sure. Like vacuums all the time, keeping this waist flat, you know, so it's a lot of work, but he's.
If you can make a prediction against him and Martin Pitts, so Martin's doing the Pittsburgh Pro, right? He's doing it.
Yeah, you go to Pittsburgh and that new show that came back.
The FIBO.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, FIBO's before New York, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, his I got some. He made a post. I don't know if it was that one where he made reference to Bob's comment. He said something about H frame or H taper.
Yeah.
And I posted a sarcastic comment saying, "Gee, Nick, it's too bad you're never going to win the Olympia. I had such high hopes for you because you've been as high as 3rd before." And he took that seriously, and all his fans thought I was being serious, and they roasted. They called me a shriveled nutsack, a has-been, most boring voice in bodybuilding. Oh, they went nuts on me. I had to delete the comment because the sarcasm did not come across. Ironically, the only one who got it was Tracy Walker, his mom. She says, "Poor Ron, I knew you were joking."
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
But let's back to the Martian, Martin Fitzwater.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I mean, there's always going to be trolls and people in everyone's comments. Yeah. And Martin, 10 weeks out versus what we just saw with Nick.
Way better shape, obviously. I mean, he's very round, bubbly. He's got like that black eye muscle. You know what I mean? So
yeah, fullness.
That a lot of us white guys don't have. You know, so I'm just being honest.
No, definitely.
So I mean, he's got, and if he can improve, he'll probably improve more than Nick did from as far as last year. So I think that will help him. You know what I mean? Because he's more of on a rise than where Nick is slowing down a little bit. I think, you know. Yeah,
I agree with that. He's got that fresher look to me than Nick's, especially the quads and everything. Nick's been struggling with. This is gonna be a great year, great competition season. Got lots of big name pros doing these shows and battling each other. Regan Grimes is going to be coming back.
Well, did you see pictures of that kid Colossus Ken today? You should look at those for a New York Pro.
Ken Colossus?
Yeah, he looks crazy. He just looks through pics.
Check it out.
Ken, Ken Claar?
Colossus Ken.
Oh, Colossus Ken.
He is morphed. I'll tell you that.
Am I spelling?
Or go to Andrew Boo.
No, Colossus. Colossus.
See.
Yeah. Oh. It's OL. I think. LOSS. US, I think is how you spell Colossus. US.
Or type in Kennedy. You got to follow him, right?
I'm pretty sure I follow him, yeah. Colossus Ken.
Never. Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Oh, this guy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. That picture
right here.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Right.
Okay.
11 weeks out. New York Pro.
Huh.
Okay. He kind of reminds me. These quads remind me of Quinton. As soon as I see this.
Yeah.
Looks
a little bit like Quinton's, but he's not. How tall is he?
Still an issue, but I mean, compared to these guys, but I mean, he's still he'll be in that first call. I think at New York, like they'll make room for him, like maybe a 6 or make him the 6 or 7, but because I know they got Crizzo, Regan, who else is doing New York, but that's pretty though for 11 weeks out. Like that's gonna be really nice.
Yeah, lots of potential.
Yeah,
like the back double bicep, that needs a little bit of work, but glutes are showing already.
Yeah.
Crazy lat spread though, so
huge.
Yeah. Okay.
Big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Have Nick and Martin said anything about New York? Because I can't imagine they're going to do Pittsburgh, and it's only another couple weeks for New York. Why wouldn't they both do the New York Pro as well?
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
I don't think Martin. Martin's got 2 shows he's doing. I don't think he's going to run too many if he expects to do well in the Olympia. But Nick may be forced to possibly have to do the
yes.
New York. I don't know.
Yes. I think obviously if Martin and Nick are doing the Pittsburgh Pro, who else is doing the Pittsburgh Pro?
Vito.
I keep forgetting.
Good
Vito, good Vito. Yeah.
It's gonna be those 3 will be hopefully will be a good matchup.
I think Nathan Diasha, I'm not sure if he's going to make it, but he
I
might be in it.
hear he's supposed to be doing Pittsburgh or New York. I'm not sure, but he always says he's coming down in the next.
He was supposed to be in the Arnold.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Remember? He said Arnold was getting him a visa.
Yeah, I remember that. He did tell me that too. Like he's getting the visa. He spoke to Brian Powers, but I don't know what happened there. Yeah, so that'll be a battle between the two. I think Nick Walker may have to do the New York Pro if Martin beats him at the
Right.
Pittsburgh Pro, and I think Martin would also do the New York Pro. Why not?
He likes to compete. He likes to challenge himself. He's not scared. I think he'll do both.
He's already
Although
qualified because of the Prague win for the Olympia, though.
That's true.
That's the crazy
Yeah,
thing.
he's already qualified. Yeah, he's already qualified. So I don't think he's going to push a lot of shows. It's not a matter of not being scared. It's just being strategic and smart. I mean, you want to up your placing for the Olympia. You can't just, you could do a Samson if you want, and then it doesn't work out in the big show.
Right.
Yeah, I just realizing that like if he does this FIBO show that's in April, it's coming up right away, which is crazy because I mean is he gonna be ready for that? And
So he'll be ready.
yeah, he looks like he's already his legs are So
I remember
that's
it was like 3 weeks out from I forgot what show last year. 3 weeks. Everybody's like, "Oh, he's not in shape. He's not going to be ready." And next, he showed up on stage, ridiculous at New York. So he's going to be ready.
He's got Boston Outlaw in his corner. Stefan's not gonna let him come.
Well, he's been having some misses with some athletes. This is what we said. He doesn't get so busy with 15, 16 top pros. It's hard to manage them all. And now some of them Vissers slipping. Some other guys didn't, do as well. So it might be starting to add up for Boss of Outlaw. And yeah, so we're going to see. If he's doing the FIBO in April, and then he's getting to Pittsburgh in July. It's July? June. Pittsburgh's in 10 weeks from now is
Pittsburgh second week of May.
May. So April, May. And then if he does a New York Pro,
Yeah.
this could backfire for Martin going into Olympia. Like, that's tough, man. That's tough to hold it that long. And we saw when he finally made it to the Prague Pro, he wasn't at his best. He was kind of like burning out. And he wasn't as good as he was at the Olympia. So he can compete, but then I think there's a line that he crosses where his physique starts to burn out and he doesn't look as good. So if he's 4 shows in by the time he gets to the Olympia,
Right.
it's gonna be tough. So, but I like Martin's physique. Definitely young, fresh talent. That's another guy that Abdullah really likes. But Abdullah thinks the Olympia is going to be Derek, Samson, and Nick, top 3.
Wow.
He's already calling.
I think he could be wrong about that one.
Hadi Choopan doesn't make top 3.
Yeah, I don't know,
Really?
man.
Yeah, we're going to see how Hadi Choopan could be a game changer because he's taking the whole year off. He's the only one that's going to have the whole year off. That's
Does
right.
anyone know who Hadi's working with?
I think
Nobody
he might be. I thought I saw behind the scenes TV. What was it? That he was going back with Hani Rambat. That Hani Rambat was coming out.
No, he's just training him. He said he's going to help him with his training, but I don't think he's going to help him with the dieting and get ready for the show. But who knows?
Yeah, if he's training,
He was
him.
with Hani for a very long time. He's only
Yeah.
had Hani. I made a joke with Patty. I said, watch you train him on the sneak and not be in the scenes about it. But
Also,
he said he's gonna train him, but not get him ready for the show. So I don't know.
Like he can't really communicate with like all these other guru coaches. You know what I mean? So like
He
Hadi and
speaks.
him would have something special. I feel like.
That's correct. In English.
Who speaks all these coaches other than Hani? I don't know anybody.
What's up?
Farsi. It's not even Arabic. It's
Yeah.
Farsi. It's a totally different language.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you got to speak the language in order to coach Hadi, and that's what Hani had. He could speak the language and communicate properly with him. So, although you think,
King Kamali speaks
come on,
Farsi.
yeah, he does. Doesn't George Parra? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I know he speaks. I know George speaks fluent Arabic.
Yeah, yeah. So that would be interesting. I mean, he should already know how to get himself in shape.
Right.
And wait a minute, you saying that Hani Rama's doing his training? Hani doesn't train. He doesn't know. He doesn't train dudes. He just does the diet.
Yeah, no, he said he used to. Well, he had the Giant Killer in his gym training him. I think he does some form of training, but he said he's going to train Hadi Choopan.
Bro,
Okay.
7, bro.
But Hadi's the type of person he has to have somebody to time to slow it down. Though he'll go to the gym and train for 5 hours,
Mhm.
but he's need somebody to reel him in because that guy lives in the gym. He won't come out.
Yeah. Nate, what's your plans for now that we have you here? What's your plans for the rest of the year here? What's going on for 2025?
Honestly, I'm sitting out the year, unfortunately, just because I want to get better.
What?
Oh,
I've taken a year off since 2017. So I'm good, but I'm going to hit Detroit early in next year and New York and Pittsburgh. So that'll be fun, try to redeem myself. So I think I have like some potential just filling out more and just getting bigger, completing like some missing areas, like the hamstrings right there and some adductors and some thickness across some areas, just slowly getting better, I still got time. I got a little bit of a late start. So like last year, I was 250 on stage in pretty good condition. So at Toronto, at least. So
yeah, you did the Van Pro 2.
yeah, that was probably my best showing. Really good fullness conditioning. I was pretty happy with that one.
So what are you competing at on stage now? Like what was your weight here?
That's 250 on flat. Yeah.
250.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not like you're 220.
I mean, I was Hasano, right? I mean, his legs are obviously way bigger, but like the pictures didn't look bad, right? I didn't feel like I was exposed or anything. So obviously he's much thicker and denser, but like the pictures didn't look bad, so I was happy with that. But obviously I'm never Hassan, like no one's gonna be like Hassan. So you know what I mean? As long as I can compare relatively close, like I'm happy,
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea to take some time off if you need to and just get a little bit bigger. Lots of pros have done that and it's worked for them. So I don't see I see an issue with that. Do you have a show that you're gonna be looking to do in 2026 that you would
Detroit, probably just because I just want to get on an early start, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to sit out, man. I'm just like I love competing too. But I just overall it's a better strategy, Just one more off season and then make a final push, and just keep getting better from there, show to show and stuff like that,
I got a question for you, Nate. If they would accept your application for the Arnold Classic, knowing that you'd probably get a lower placing because it's going to be stacked again.
I do it.
What's the mentality? Would you do it because it's a chance to be on the Arnold Classic stage with probably 2, 3, or more Mr. Olympia champions up there? Would you say yes or no?
Oh, I would say happily yes, and I would be grateful for the opportunity. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
One last question with that. What happened to the guy? The guy that won the amateur last year? He was in the show Friday night, and he was nowhere to be seen Saturday night.
That's just his perspective, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it was confusing.
That's the thing is like I'm a real bodybuilder. Like as long as I show up at a good condition and like package, I'm happy. Like if I get dead last, like I expect that because these guys are I'm realistic. Like they're elite, and I'm not at the pro level at least. So it's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think a lot of guys are and they think they've won probably all their life until they turn pro. And then, you don't win every pro show like you did when you were an amateur, so.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you going to work on this off season?
Mostly hamstrings, glutes. I think they're a little shallow. And then some more back. Obviously, you can always have more back. And my front shots are pretty decent. Obviously, I can keep getting bigger, but you can see my hamstrings are a little shallow. My rear lat spread's pretty good, but like that little bit of thigh gap fix stuff like that.
Okay.
Calves, I've been training calves a lot more. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, more chest, a little bit more chest, more lats, just slowly just keep getting. I have a vision in my physique, so
Yeah.
I've done a pretty good job as far as my genetics go, as far as like building into my shape, I feel like. So,
Yeah. And
but
Phil,
like I said earlier, competition is just so hard right now. So, it's
Listen,
tough.
Nate, I think you have I don't BS. I think you got a remarkable physique. I mean, I don't, no extra 5 pounds possibly. I think that if you push it too much, it's going to take away some of your really good structure because you still have a decent waistline, a pretty good damn waistline. Your back shots is really good. Getting a little bit more denser, yes, but I'm a fan of your physique. The only issue now is just that these guys are just unbelievable freaks.
Yeah.
Genetically, I had you winning the nationals. Clear. Your conditioning was sick, and I had you winning. And I think who won? Was it Carlos? Was that who you're going against?
Yeah, Carlos. I mean, it's just one of those things,
Yeah.
They're always as a.
But you have a great physique, man. So
I appreciate that, brother.
yeah,
I mean,
do your thing, man. Do your thing. But it is very, very tough. These guys are.
sure.
I don't know what the hell they're eating, but
Well, look at the lineups when like Brandon Curry was on Olympia. You know what I mean? Like it's just the different. These guys, like even at the top 5 Open Pro shows, like the regular ones, it's pretty heavy,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we all know there's different levels to being a pro, and there's different. But if you can win a pro show and at least qualify for the Olympia,
That'd be
then
sick.
that's good. I mean, you're competing that's your career. You're doing what. There's only going to be a few that are going to win the Mr. Olympia or whatever. But if
Right.
at least you're still making it to the Olympia,
Yeah.
that's the dream come true. I wouldn't say anything bad about that. So don't let it. And it's not obviously you're going to take. You're committed. You're going in this. You're taking a year off. That's how committed you are. So you're coming back, and the goal is just to make it to the Olympia,
Oh yeah.
right? So
Definitely.
or the Arnold.
I'd be grateful for that as well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I think there's different levels to this, and you got to make a career out of it and be active as a pro, and that's what you do. So yeah,
Thanks, brother.
yeah. And then Phil, now that you got these guys, Brandon Curry and fucking Kai, who knows going to show up to the Masters, are you gonna still make the investment to go down to Tokyo and compete with these guys?
The camp is still nothing has changed as of yet. The camp is still positive about it.
Yeah.
So we just have to see how the cards play out. With me, once again, I'll state it. I mean, I've been against Olympians, and
Yeah.
I actually beat one. I was very blessed and grateful to be able to do that and make it to the Olympia, whereas a lot of people will probably never make it. So me now, as you get older, you got to think wisely when it comes to money because I have a big family. So if it makes sense, it will happen. If it does not make sense, where I'm not going to make something back, then I'll make that call as we go. But right now, it's still yes until we get a little closer and figure it out.
Good.
Working with the coach now, George. Are you working with George?
I'm still a blue. No, I'm still a blue.
My bad. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, worst comes to worst, if I do not do it, I will definitely do a show in the States. Definitely. And it will be in the open.
Yeah.
I'm going to go step on a
Yeah.
master stage. That I would not do to any other master competitor. I'm not going to step on a master stage just to get a $500 check and then win a trophy. So I will definitely still compete in the open. Wherever it lands, if I make top 10, that will only be my goal. I'm happy with that.
Awesome. Great. Well, guys, thank you for coming on. I like to keep it around an hour for everybody, and I appreciate you. It was a great weekend, and looking for the next shows coming up, and we'll be back next week. All right, guys.
Take it easy.
Appreciate it. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace. See you guys
Later.